Old Masters were let out a heavy sigh, his voice tinged with regret. What a pity. If she were alive, her fortune would have been even stronger. The geomancer reassured him, his tone unwavering. Rest assured, using the remnants of her luck will still be enough to ensure the Zhou family's meteoric rise to glory. Sai Fuking's eyes slowly fluttered open. The dream didn't feel random, it was like a puzzle piece snapping into place, answering questions she hadn't dared to voice. Her head throbbed, a sharp, persistent ache. But wasn't she supposed to be dead? The memory was vivid, an explosion in the lab, her final moment. So why could she still feel pain? A dull sting tugged at her wrist. Had someone slit it? Before she could piece it together, the flood of unfamiliar memories surged into her mind. The girl before her bore her name, her life, however, was one of quiet tragedy. Orphaned young, she'd been taken in by the patriarch of the Zhou family, only to become their scapegoat. Bruises and wounds had been a constant for her. After the old man's death, the family wasted no time in casting her out. It seemed they'd gone so far as to kill her to ensure her absence. Now, Sai Fuking sat up, her gaze settling coldly on Mrs. Zhou. The bandage on her wrist was soaked through, fresh blood seeping into the fabric. It was gruesome to see, though her expression betrayed no pain. Instead, her fox-like eyes curved into a smile that brimmed with wicked beauty. Little one, she murmured to the soul of the body she now inhabited, since I'm here, I'll avenge you. Consider it my thanks for lending me this chance at life. Mrs. Zhou, face flushed with anger, stepped forward, raising her hand to strike. But Sai Fuking was faster. Her grip latched onto the woman's wrist, her voice low and icy, cutting through the air. Enough. You're too loud. With a flick of her arm, she flung Mrs. Zhou to the ground, the sound of impact echoing in the room. Mrs. Zhou glared at her with rage and humiliation, her voice sharp as a blade. Sai Fuking, are you rebelling against me? Sai Fuking didn't even glance her way. She turned on down the hall. She stepped into the bathroom and caught sight of herself in the mirror. The face staring back at her was unfamiliar, disheveled, and ghostly pale. What the? She muttered, startled. Without hesitation, she splashed water on her face, scrubbing at it as if it might reveal something different underneath. A sharp knock at the door interrupted her. Mrs. Zhu's shrill voice pierced through. You think you can hide in there forever? Get out here, now! Fed up, Sai Fuking yanked the door open, only for it to smack into Zhonghe's face. His startled grunt echoed down the hall, and Mrs. Zhu rushed to his side, her face a mask of concern. But when they both turned back to look at her, their expressions froze. The woman standing before them radiated an almost ethereal beauty. Sai Fuking's sharp, disdainful smile only added to the icy allure of her face. She arched a brow, her voice dripping with sarcasm. What's wrong? Cat got your tongues? Mrs. Zhou snapped out of her daze, her indignation flaring once again. Gritting her teeth, she stepped forward, her hand raised to strike. But Sai Fuking wasn't one to back down. With a swift motion, she caught Mrs. Zhu's wrist and delivered a stinging slap of her own. Zhonghe's roar filled the air. Sai Fuking! How dare you hit my mother? He lunged at her, his fury palpable. But Sai Fuking was faster. Her precise strike sent him doubling over, clutching his side in pain. The pair could do nothing but watch, seething with anger and helplessness, as Sai Fuking sauntered away, her steps unhurried, her presence commanding. As she turned to leave, she tossed a few words over her shoulder, her tone dripping with icy resolve. I won't give up the inheritance, and I won't let any of you off easy. Let's take our time with this, shall we? After leaving the hospital, she pulled out her phone to check her messages. Perfect. Bandaging her wounds cost 250, and her bank account balance? Also 250. The universe was mocking her, aligning her misfortune with the precise figures that mirrored her failure. It was almost poetic. The pitiful girl who had literally blown herself up. She glanced at the car's dashboard calendar. Today was March 14th, 2025. She had been reborn 3 years into the future in the Great Shia Empire. Now, the question was, where to find some cash? While she mulled over her predicament, the locked car door clicked open without a sound. A man slid into the passenger seat. He was tall, with broad shoulders and an aura of intimidating grace that reminded her of a golden statue, untouchable, sacred, yet carrying a weight of authority. His face was partially concealed by a black mask, his movements deliberate and careful, but the air around him reeked of blood, dangerously fresh. The girl's fearless gaze didn't waver, and for a moment, it caused him to pause. She had visible wounds, yet she carried herself as if she were untouchable, almost daring him to act. Intrigued, he lowered the brim of his hat slightly. "Apologies, Miss Sai. I need to lie low here for a while." His voice was low, cold, and distorted, like a mechanical hum, intentionally altered to conceal his identity. This man wasn't just cautious, he was meticulous. His face was surely disguised, leaving no trace unprotected. Sai Fuking let out a soft laugh, her lips curving upward with amused defiance. "Sure, no problem," she said lightly. "But it'll cost you. Pay up, and everything's negotiable." The man considered her words for a moment, then reached into his coat and produced a jade pendant. Without hesitation, he set it gently on the dashboard. As he did, the hurried footsteps that had been closing in suddenly halted. His demeanor shifted instantly. Bracing his arms on either side of her, he trapped her within his frame. Though their proximity was undeniable, not even a whisper of contact passed between them. Sai Fuking, unfazed, picked up the pendant, her eyes gleaming with interest. After tucking it away, she spoke with deliberate ease. "Need some background music? I could download something for you, pomp and circumstance, maybe? Or do you prefer something a bit more dramatic, like a predatory stare?" Her voice was light, teasing. The man responded coolly, his tone dismissive. "No need for theatrics. This will suffice." Suddenly, a subtle twist of the steering wheel made the car lurch sharply. The commotion outside grew louder as someone cursed, their voice rising over the chaos. "What kind of shameless pair does this outside a hospital? Disgraceful! You're lucky I have more pressing matters today, or I'd take the girl for myself." With that, the unwelcome voices faded into the distance. Sai Fuking stretched lazily, then gestured casually. "Move aside, will you? I need a sip of my cola." Only then did the man step back slightly, granting her some space. She reached for the bottle, her fingers just brushing the cap when, in a sudden and fluid motion, her hand shifted, striking directly toward his shoulder. The man reacted swiftly, and in the span of 10 seconds, they had exchanged over a dozen strikes. His mask slipped off in the scuffle, and in one decisive move, he caught Sai Fuking's injured wrist, pinning her against the driver's seat. Though his face was now exposed, she could still feel the cold edge of his aura, the strength in his long limbs, and the broadness of his shoulders. His gaze was indifferent, neither angry nor joyful, as he said evenly, "Your wrist is injured. You're not my match. If this continues, I can't guarantee what I might do next." She blinked, her expression calm and unbothered. "Fine, just don't bully me." The man hesitated before releasing her wrist, his voice measured and steady. "Thank you for today. Should fate allow us to meet again, I'll personally come to express my gratitude." Just as silently as he had arrived, the tension in the air dissipated. The scent of blood that had lingered began to fade. She glanced at his retreating figure, and remarked with faint amusement, "The way you speak, anyone would think we're in a historical drama. So formal. Honestly, with so many enemies, who would want to meet you again? But that's a you family weapon, isn't it?" With a small huff, she turned her attention back. "Even though I lost to him, it wasn't a total defeat," she muttered. The man, meanwhile, glanced at the wound on his palm and mused to himself that woman's skills are not to be underestimated. If not for her injury, subduing her wouldn't have been this simple. Another morning at the Zhua household, Zhua Qingya barged into Sai Fuking's room, rummaging through her belongings. She picked up a jewelry box that barely caught her interest, muttering, "I thought Grandpa might have left Sai Fuking something worthwhile. Turns out it's just this junk. What a pauper." Turning to leave, she suddenly found herself pinned against the wall, a strong hand gripping her throat. Her back numbed from the force as Sai Fuking's voice, light and tinged with a faint smile, cut through the air. "You enjoy playing the thief? If you're bold enough to steal, then take it, if you can." Zhou Qingya, startled, shrieked, "You're the thief! I'm just reclaiming what you've taken from the Zhou family all these years. How dare you lay a hand on me?" At that moment, Zhou Tianfeng heard the commotion and rushed over. "Sai Fuking, what are you doing?" Only then did she release her grip. "Nothing," she replied casually. "Just packing up some necessities." She bent to pick up a book from the floor and slid it into her backpack. Zhou Tianfeng's gaze lingered on the bag she clutched tightly to her chest, his brows furrowing. "Let me see what's in that bag." Sai Fuking's voice turned icy. "If you have the guts, take it yourself." Zhou Tianfeng's shout echoed through the house, sharp and final. "Sai Fuking, from this moment on, you are not to step foot in the family home again." Sai Fuking waved her hand dismissively, her tone light yet edged with defiance. "That depends on whether you can actually keep me out." With that, she turned and left, the weight of her circumstances settling over her like an old, familiar cloak. Walking along the bustling street, she eventually managed to rent a small, dingy room, barely enough to call a home. But the cost had drained nearly every last yuan she had. The thought of taking up work repairing phone screens at the bridge flashed through her mind. It wasn't glamorous, but desperate times called for desperate measures. Suddenly, a shout from a nearby crowd tore through her thoughts. "Look out! Dangerous!" A little girl darted into the middle of the road to retrieve a ball, oblivious to the oncoming car speeding toward her. Without hesitation, Sai Fuking sprang into action. Her legs carried her forward as if on instinct, her heart pounding in her chest. She reached the girl just in time, pulling her to safety. Panting, she ruffled the child's hair gently, her voice steady despite the rush of adrenaline. "Next time, don't run off like that, okay?" The little girl, wide-eyed and trembling, started to cry. "I'm so sorry, big sister. You're bleeding." Her gaze fell on Sai Fuking's hand, where crimson streaked against pale skin. Sai Fuking glanced down at the reopened wound and sighed. "Ah, great. This hand's had enough bad luck for a lifetime." But she smiled through the sting, brushing off the injury. "It's just a scratch, don't worry. But you have to promise me you'll stay safe. Pretty sisters like me won't always be around to save you." Her legs, however, were not as resilient. A sharp twinge shot through her as she tried to straighten, her knees locking up momentarily. She stumbled backward, bracing for an ungraceful fall, until a strong arm caught her by the waist. Steadying herself, she turned to meet the gaze of her unexpected savior. The warmth of the man's thigh was undeniable, firm, muscular, and brimming with an untamed strength hidden beneath the fabric of tailored suit pants. For a fleeting moment, Sai Fuking felt every bit of it. Then, a low, crisp male voice drifted down from above, carrying a faint chill like a summer rainstorm washing over her. Her body stiffened instantly, and her stubborn leg, still tingling with numbness, betrayed her. Reflexively, she pressed into a pressure point along her calf in a desperate attempt to regain feeling. "Apologies. It wasn't on purpose, my leg fell asleep." "Ooh, these legs. I should just chop them off when I get home." She scrambled to her feet, clutching at the car door for support. "Thank you, sir. Truly. Fate has a funny way of throwing people together, but I'll make sure to repay you." Being caught draped across a man's lap wasn't exactly the stuff of her wildest dreams, nor was it a moment deserving a commemorative plaque. This was a first for her, but she vividly recalled her third senior sister's sage advice: when things get messy, remember, the best strategy is retreat. Don't even think about taking responsibility. Still, Sai Fuking couldn't resist adding a cheeky comment as she steadied herself, her tone casual yet mischievous. "Nice thigh feel, by the way." Shen Xingyun, who had witnessed the whole scene, frowned with concern. Yu Shiheng, are your legs okay? You're still in the critical stage of treatment, they shouldn't be under any strain. But Yu Shiheng remained steady as a mountain, unperturbed. It's fine. She was light. Shen Xingyun's frown deepened. First, your thigh gets commandeered. Last night, your hand got cut. Are you sure the universe doesn't have it out for you lately? Are you really not going to tell me where you went last night? Shen Xingyun's sharp gaze narrowed slightly. It was nothing important, Yu Shiheng replied, his tone calm. I ran into a little fox and got scratched a couple of times. A fox? Here in Lincheng? And one that bites? Shen Xingyun asked, disbelief evident in his voice. Meanwhile, Sai Fuqing picked up her fallen phone, inspecting the damage. Luckily, only the screen was slightly cracked, and it still worked. She scrolled through her work options. This task location is way too far, no money for a ticket. This one's a no-go too. My new account rank isn't high enough to unlock it. Her eyes lit up when she found another listing, daily pay of 100,000 yuan, 3 days total, with meals and accommodation provided. This one looks promising, she mused. Interviews tomorrow. The next morning, she arrived at the interview location, well, sort of. Sai Fuqing, infamous for her poor sense of direction, had no idea where she'd ended up. Standing outside a sprawling courtyard, she called out loudly, "Hello? Anyone here? I'm here for the bodyguard job. Can someone give me directions?" Suddenly, she heard a light cough behind her. Turning, she saw a man with a disability. She scratched her head sheepishly. "Sorry to bother you. I got lost. I'm here for the job interview, but can't find my way. Can you point me in the right direction?" Yu Shiheng, steady as always, gestured calmly. "Head out this way, take a left, then a right, and after the third turn, you'll reach it." Sai Fuqing froze for a moment, a strange sense of familiarity washing over her at the sound of his voice. "Wait. Do I know this guy? Please don't tell me I've run into someone I know." Sai Fuqing squinted, studying the man carefully. He looked a lot like the guy she had fought with the other night, but that man wasn't disabled, right? She shook her head, deciding to let it go. "Less trouble that way." With a small wave, she said, "Thanks, I'll be off now." Still, something nagged at her. That man had used a voice changer that night, so why did this guy's voice sound so familiar? I must be low on caffeine, she thought, mentally blaming her lack of cola for her sluggish brain. Yu Shiheng watched her retreating figure, his deep gaze following her thoughtfully. How coincidental. It's her again. And this is the interview site? Moments later, Sai Fuqing arrived at the venue and wasted no time. In under 3 seconds, she had floored one of the other candidates. "Apologies for being late. I'm number 30, she announced, standing tall. The man overseeing the interviews frowned at her with clear impatience. The recruitment process just ended. "You're too late. Please leave." But Sai Fuqing wasn't about to back down so easily. Her wallet was empty, she didn't even have enough to buy a cola. Giving up wasn't an option. Even if she had to set up a makeshift shop on a bridge, she didn't have the funds for that either. She decided to try her luck, looking up at the security camera with a confident wave. "Hey, boss! You're hiring 5 bodyguards, right? What if I could do the work of all 5? Wouldn't that mean the pay multiplies by 5 too? I can prove I'm worth it." Then Sai Fuqing glared at the group of burly men, her gaze daring them. "Care to come at me all at once?" One of them chuckled, shaking his head at her audacity. "All right then, little girl. Don't regret it later." The supervising man couldn't believe it. These were supposed to be top-tier recruits, yet she had underestimated them this much? A moment later, blood-curdling cries echoed across the courtyard. In just 3 minutes, all 5 men were sprawled on the ground, utterly defeated. Their expression shifted from arrogance to pure despair. Meanwhile, Sai Fuking stood tall, dusting her hands off as if she'd merely been tidying up. The supervising man's face transformed. This girl is a monster. Just then, a man strolled into the room, his presence commanding immediate attention. Everyone else can leave. Miss, you stay, he said coolly. Miss Sai Fuking, please follow me. The boss would like to see you, he continued, gesturing toward the staircase. Sai Fuking followed without a word, ascending to the upper level. Her thoughts churned as she entered the room. When she saw the man seated inside, realization hit her like a freight train. Him? It was the guy from earlier. But now that she got a proper look, she connected the dots. He was also the one from the other night. So, the voice changer guy and the man from today, they're the same person? What kind of ape trickery is this? Feigning indifference, she flopped onto the sofa. Yu Shiheng's sharp eyes swept over her briefly before he spoke. Prepare several casual outfits for her. Size small, he ordered crisply, as though this was the most natural next step. Feng San gave a respectful nod. Understood, Yu-Ge. Miss Sai truly has exceptional skills, beyond words, really. Sai Fuking immediately protested, no way. Feng San froze mid-action, staring at her in disbelief. What's with the attitude? Sai Fuking hesitated, then said, I wear a size M, not S. S will just pop the buttons. Yu Shiheng remained unfazed, his expression calm as he gave his next command. Change it to M. Shen Xingyun, watching the exchange, chuckled lightly. This woman's interesting. I'll handle it. Oh, and have the kitchen prepare something to eat. He glanced toward Sai Fuking. Since you're serving as his personal guard, you should stay and eat as well. Sai Fuking's eyes lit up at the invitation. Her mood soared when she saw the table spread with a variety of delicious dishes. Her mouth practically watered at the sight. The boss is handsome, rich, and fit. And he treats his subordinates well. Where else could you find someone so perfect? Yu Shiheng's expression didn't waver as he smiled faintly. You flatter me. Sai Fuking froze mid-thought, her gaze narrowing. What? No raise after all that praise? What's the point? Feng San, observing this exchange, smirked. He realized Sai Fuking's true love wasn't the boss himself, it was money. Yu-Ge? Just a stepping stone. Shen Xingyun handed her a backpack. Miss Sai, this is yours, right? Sai Fuking quickly nodded. Yes. I forgot it after the fight. Shen Xingyun glanced at her curiously. Miss Sai, are you a history enthusiast? She gave a small smile. I wouldn't say I'm passionate about it. It's just... I never really thought about delving into history before. Now that I have, it's been surprisingly moving. I'd really like to meet Emperor Ying someday. Shen Xingyun looked slightly taken aback. Why do you want to meet Emperor Ying? What would you even say to him? Yu Shiheng turned, his gaze steady as he fixed it on Sai Fuking. Yes, what would you say to him? Sai Fuking's voice dropped slightly as she replied, just look at the Empire today. No one dares to provoke it. Her eyes darkened as she added, look at our empire now, 10 million strong, each person exceptional, every stroke of penmanship a testament to their resilience. And the empire itself stretches boundlessly, from the western continent to the eastern seas. The nation you risked your life to protect now stands as a flourishing beacon among the 5 continents. Sai Fuking paused, her tone turning solemn. No duchy on the western continent dares challenge us. Yet, it's a shame he cannot witness this. Yu Shiheng's hand rose slowly, lightly resting over his heart as he closed his eyes, feeling the warmth there. No, he murmured, his voice soft but certain. He sees it. Yu Shiheng smiled faintly, his tone light yet sincere. What you said is true. Today, in Daxia, every person should strive to be like a dragon or phoenix, ready to soar at any moment. If the late emperor could see this, even with only 27 years, he would have no regrets. Shen Xingyun felt a chill down his spine, his admiration surfacing unbidden. "Miss Tsai, you're only 18, yet you possess such insight. I'm in awe." He raised his glass. "To Miss Tsai." The mention of wine instantly snapped Tsai Fuking out of her reflective mood. Her lips curved as her eyes gleamed with anticipation. She reached out eagerly for the glass, but was stopped by a hand intercepting hers. A man's voice cut through, calm yet cold. "Your hand is injured. You shouldn't drink." Tsai Fuking gave her cheeks a playful pat, shaking herself out of the romantic moment. "Dangerous, dangerous," she muttered, her voice tinged with mock chastisement. What a seductive gesture. Yu Shiheng signaled to his attendant with a nod. "After dinner, make sure she gets home safely," he ordered with quiet authority. Feng San, observing the interaction, felt a twinge of curiosity. His Uge's demeanor toward Miss Tsai seemed a touch more familiar than before. Tsai Fuking rubbed her chin thoughtfully. "Looks like the boss is a fan of the late Emperor Ying. If I butter him up by praising the Emperor more, maybe I'll get a raise," she mused with a sly grin. Her train of thought was abruptly interrupted by a ringing phone. "Tsai Fuking," came a voice over the line, clipped and commanding. "Drop by the Zhou family estate later. There's something important to discuss. It's about your grandfather." Tsai Fuking's tone turned harsh. "You have a terrible attitude and wanted me to go there. If you want that, you can ask me nicely." She hung up the phone with a sharp click. Tsai Fuking's expression didn't change, though her thoughts swirled. So, this is their big plan. Calling me back now, it must have something to do with old Master Zhu's will. Moments later, another call came in, still from Mrs. Zhui. "Fuking, it's Xianyu. Please, just come home. It's urgent. If you can help resolve this, you can name your price." At that, Tsai Fuking's lips curved into a mischievous smile. "Ah, now that's more like it. I do enjoy a bit of leverage." At the Zhou family residence, Mrs. Zhou couldn't hide her displeasure. Why should Tsai Fuking, who doesn't even share our family name, inherit anything from the Zhou estate? Old Master must have lost his mind. Zhou Qianfeng waved dismissively, his tone casual. "Tsai Fuking is just a nobody. Offer her 5 million yuan and have her sign a waiver renouncing her claim to the inheritance. Let's be done with it." Zhou Xianyu frowned. "Grandfather never spoke to you about Tsai Fuking's family, not even once." Zhou Tuanfeng's gaze darkened. "No. I asked him a few times, but he always stayed tight-lipped." Xianyu thought for a moment, her expression pensive. Grandfather was always cold and pragmatic, he would never hand over the company's assets to an outsider without a reason. There had to be more to this. It was 9 p.m. when Tsai Fuking finally arrived, fashionably late as always. Unlike her usual understated look, her makeup tonight was bold, with strikingly dramatic eyeshadow. Zhou Xianyu's brow twitched almost imperceptibly, but she managed to step forward and greet her. "Fuking, you're here. Traffic must have been terrible at this hour." Tsai Fuking opened her mouth, her voice dripping with feigned innocence. "Traffic? Not really. I just walked. Couldn't afford a ride, and my legs are killing me. Since you care so much, why don't you give me a leg massage?" Xianyu nearly choked on her composure, but remained calm. "Butler, bring out the new massage chair I just bought. Miss Tsai seems tired, let her rest." Lounging in the chair, Tsai Fuking looked utterly at ease, her expression one of exaggerated comfort. Meanwhile, Zhou Tuanfeng's eyes grew unreadable, though his tone remained civil, for now. "We called you here today to discuss your grandfather's will," Zhou Tuanfeng began, his tone measured but firm. "The old master allocated Yulan Jewelry and 8% of the Jingcheng real estate shares to you. But let's be honest, you're not exactly cut out for business. So here's my offer, I'll give you 5 million yuan, and you transfer all of it to me. If you ever need help in the future, I'll be there for you." Tsai Fuking didn't even look his way, her attention fixed on the soothing hum of the massage chair. Zhou Qianqian broke the tense silence, his voice laced with feigned amusement. Big brother, that's hardly fair play. Are you taking advantage of Fuking's lack of market knowledge? Yulan Jewelry and 8% of Jingcheng real estate shares, without at least 100 billion on the table, it's daylight robbery, isn't it? Zhuo Chenfeng's face darkened instantly. Meanwhile, Zhuo Trenqian smirked, his narrowed eyes brimming with challenge. How about this, Fuking? I'll take only the Jingcheng real estate shares and offer you 3 billion instead. What do you say? Cai Fuking blinked, her innocent expression making her seem almost naive. Her voice was calm yet deliberate. 3 billion, huh? That's quite a bit more than 5 million. I'll need to think about it. Before Trenqian could respond, Tianfeng erupted. 20 billion. His voice cut through the room like a whip. Cai Fuking's eyelids lifted ever so slightly, her demeanor unhurried as she replied, 20 billion works. But I have 2 conditions. First, I want to see the old master. Second, I'll attend his funeral. Otherwise, the deal's off. Her words left Tianfeng visibly startled. These conditions seemed far too simple, and yet he couldn't shake the feeling there was more to them. Still, a flicker of relief crossed his face as he nodded. The storm had calmed, for now. Yulan Jewelry recently acquired a mine. With a bit of luck, that mine could be worth billions. I'll throw that in too, consider it a family gift. Don't refuse, all right? Cai Fuking took the offer with a calm air, as if weighing a matter of little consequence. A mine? Not bad. Fine, I'll accept it. By the way, I'll be staying here tonight. Tomorrow, you'll take me to see the old master. Standing, she offered a faint, enigmatic smile. I do hope this is the last time you summon me. As she ascended the stairs, Mrs. Zhuo's face fell, her voice rising in outrage. Tianfeng, have you lost your mind? This is the family property. Why are you giving her 20 billion yuan? Tianfeng's gaze darkened, his tone low but firm. Do you think I'd let her walk away with it so easily? Watch. Before long, she'll lose it all and come crawling back. From his seat in the massage chair, Trenqian chuckled softly. Ha, just as I thought. Go ahead, fight it out. Let's see who's left standing in the end. By 2 a.m., the Zhuo family villa had settled into quiet slumber. Upstairs, Cai Fuking lay curled up in bed, appearing deeply asleep, her breathing calm. Yet, no sound escaped her awareness. Sir Zhonghe had waited for this exact moment. Swallowing hard, his eyes lingered on her delicate form before he moved swiftly toward her. Just as he extended his hand, Cai Fuking's eyes snapped open. In a blur of motion, she twisted his wrist with ruthless precision and plunged a jagged beer bottle shard into it. Her calm facade had been no mere act. Just as the Zhonghe's scream was about to echo through the entire villa, Cai Fuking's fingers darted out like lightning, gripping his throat with unrelenting force. She let out a soft chuckle, her tone laced with quiet menace. Me? I'm someone who believes in an eye for an eye. Next time, I'll aim a little lower. She tilted her head, a calm smile playing on her lips. Relax, I've calculated the rate at which you'll bleed. You've got a solid 24 hours before it becomes life-threatening. After that, well, no guarantees. Her eyes narrowed as she added, of all of us, Grandpa always favored you. I thought you were here to pay your respects. But this? What are you trying to do? Zhe Zhonghe, shaking like a leaf, lost his nerve entirely and fainted on the spot. With an air of casual indifference, Cai Fuking grabbed him by the collar, flinging him back into his room with a swift kick. The next morning, chaos reigned. Zhe Zhonghe stumbled out, his head still foggy, but the terror fresh in his veins. Mom! Cai Fuking tried to kill me. I don't want to die. His panicked wail startled Mrs. Zhuo, sending her into a frenzy. Son, don't panic. The doctor's on the way, she cried, her own fear bubbling to the surface. Why are you screaming so early in the morning? Awakened by the commotion, Zhuo Trenfeng stormed downstairs, his annoyance palpable. What is going on here? Did Zhuo Zhonghe get drunk last night and not sober up yet? Sai Fuking emerged from her room, her hair draped over her shoulders, her demeanor unhurried. What's with all the noise so early? Can't a person get some sleep around here? Zhuo Zhonghe, why aren't you at the hospital if you're hurt? Zhuo Zhonghe gritted his teeth, trembling anew. It was you. You cut my hand with a beer bottle. Sai Fuking picked up the broken beer bottle with an air of indifference. You mean this? I drank last night and left the bottle by the door. You're grown enough to watch where you're walking, aren't you? It's fine if you broke my bottle, but getting yourself hurt is another story. Zhuo Xinyu furrowed her brows, her thoughts spinning. Zhuo Zhonghe was known for his reckless behavior after drinking, and with how dark it was last night, such an accident wasn't far-fetched. Meanwhile, Zhuo Tuanfeng frowned as well, skepticism written all over his face. Sai Fuking's wrist injury a few days ago was severe. You're telling me she managed to overpower a full-grown man? That's a stretch, even for a bad liar. Sai Fuking let out a soft sigh. Grandpa's gone now. Do you think I'd dare to go against the Zhuo family under these circumstances? Zhuo Zhonghe opened his mouth to retort but faltered, realizing the futility. No one would believe him anyway. Zhuo Tianfeng turned toward Xinyu. Xinyu, take Sai Fuking to visit Grandpa's grave later. Your mother and I will take your brother to the hospital. Sai Fuking brushed past them, muttering under her breath, what a bunch of trash. It didn't take long for her to arrive at the old man's tombstone. Xinyu, standing beside her, addressed the housekeeper. Qingqing wants to pay her respects to Grandpa. Please open the gate. The housekeeper eyed her with disdain. The old master treated her so well when he was alive, yet now she's stirring up trouble the moment he's gone. What an ungrateful wretch. Sai Fuking ran her fingers over her chin, deep in thought. Something about this felt off, eerily so. When the strange coffin was opened, her surprise was evident. The Zhuo family patriarch had indeed passed from illness, but his features bore the unmistakable traces of someone who had tampered with fate and suffered the consequences. Her fifth senior brother's words echoed in her mind, tampering with destiny would always invite retribution. But whose destiny had been stolen? Zhuo Xinyu gave her a sharp tap on the shoulder. What are you doing? Out of all of us, Grandpa loved you the most. I thought you came here to pay your respects, but now? What exactly are you up to? Sai Fuking brushed her hand away without a second thought. Did I say you could touch me? Who are you to me, anyway? And disappointed in me? How much did you drink to come up with that nonsense? Focus on keeping the Zhuo family in line, or there might not be much of it left. Her words hit a nerve, and Xianyu's anger flared. Sai Fuking, how dare you speak like that in front of Grandpa's grave? Do you even remember what filial piety means? Don't think that playing the victim will stop us from voiding that adoption agreement. Sai Fuking gave her a knowing smile, unfazed. Oh, I know all about it. And trust me, I'll save you the trouble of cancelling it. I'm the one who doesn't want any ties with this family. With that, she spun on her heel and strode away. Her words hung in the air, but Xinyu refused to believe them. As Sai Fuking left the gravesite, the sound of a car horn caught her attention. She looked up, startled. It was her boss. Sai Fuking leaned into the passenger seat, a sly smile playing on her lips. Boss, you're the kind of boss every employee dreams of, not just providing insurance and benefits, but being so thoughtful, too. Honestly, I'm starting to love you. Her tone was light, but the gratitude behind her words was unmistakable. It wasn't every day she got picked up like this, especially when she could barely afford a bus ride. Of course, there was a condition. Just to be clear, though, this doesn't mean you can dock my pay. Yu Shiheng raised a brow, cutting straight to the point. Didn't you just leave us a family with a couple billion? She scoffed, rolling her eyes. Oh, that? It's not like I earned it myself. It's not the same as spending my own hard-earned money. Only that feels right. He chuckled at her reasoning, nodding in agreement. Fair enough. No pay deductions this time. Her eyes lit up with exaggerated enthusiasm. Boss, you're amazing. Insurance, benefits, and now this? Honestly, how did I get so lucky to have you as my boss? I could cry from how much I adore you. Just then, the awkward voice of Feng San, one of Yu Shiheng's aides, broke the moment. Miss Tsai, you're trending online again. Seems like the public's had enough of a certain mentor on Youth Rising. They're saying you're dragging the show down, that you can't do anything right, and even accusing you of being inappropriate with trainees. If the show wasn't just starting, people would be walking off already. Tsai Fuking blinked, finally recalling her commitment to appear on the show's set that day. She didn't look fazed, though. So what? I haven't even bothered to put on makeup yet. If I'm being honest, I've got better looks, a better figure, and more talent than any of them. All they can do is bang on their keyboards online. Why should I lower myself to their level? Yu Shiheng didn't bother arguing. He simply ordered the driver to take her to the Youth Rising training base. Tsai Fuking was caught off guard for a moment, but then she heard her boss's voice. You're not just going to let them get away with this, are you? Classic boss, always seeing straight through everything. She knew exactly what was happening. The company she signed with and the production crew were ready to throw her under the bus now that her connection seemed to have disappeared. Well, they were in for a rude awakening if they thought she'd play along. 10 minutes later, inside the assessment room, the director was holding the second round of group allocations for the day. Tsai Fuking's attendance was mandatory. And as if summoned by her mere mention, Tsai Fuking arrived. The plan? Stick to the original script. She was the scapegoat of the show, the face for every controversy they could conjure. If there weren't any scandals, they'd edit them into existence, all to boost the show's ratings. What could a no-talent, connectionless mentor like her be, if not cannon fodder for the production team? The recording began. Hello, teachers. I'm Muno, a trainee from Tianla Media. My specialty is vocals. One of the participants introduced himself. As luck would have it, Tianla Media was the same company that had roped Tsai Fuking into this mess. Minutes later, the performance ended. Tsai Fuking's voice cut through the silence like a blade. Where do you think you should be placed? I believe I deserve to stay in Class A, Muno replied confidently. Tsai Fuking shook her head, her expression calm but firm. F. The trainee's eyes darkened instantly, his confidence giving way to something sharper. Tsai Fuking, you can't sing, you can't dance, and you couldn't even complete the theme song's choreography. You're not even a qualified vocal coach. What gives you the right to judge me? Lin Xianyun hadn't expected Tsai Fuking to confront Muno head-on. She hesitated for a moment before interjecting, Muno, what Tsai Fuking said might have come across a bit strong, don't take it to heart. While Muno showed respect toward Lin Xianyun, his disdain for Tsai Fuking remained obvious. Ms. Lin, Muno said directly, I'm just being straightforward here. I'd like to know what standard Tsai Fuking used to give me an F. Calmly, Tsai Fuking jotted down notes on a piece of paper. Your range was off. You sang 4 notes too low in one section, 2 in another. 5 other notes were flat by 1 pitch each. And the high point? You cracked on the 3rd note. She held up the paper, her tone sharp but composed. You claim to be a vocal lead. You know breath control is fundamental, right? And yet, this is the result? On what basis do you say you can sing? Muno faltered, caught off guard by the precision of her critique. He hadn't expected her to wield this kind of authority. Tsai Fuking sat back in her chair, a faint smirk playing on her lips, her gaze unwavering. As a mentor, I gave you an F, got a problem with that? Muno shook his head, his earlier confidence now reduced to silence. Someone else in the room muttered under their breath, didn't Sledji say Tsai Fuking couldn't sing or dance? How does she know so much about music all of a sudden? Xie Yu rubbed his chin thoughtfully, staring at Tsai Fuking with newfound curiosity. Looks like the rumors weren't all that reliable after all. Another voice chimed in, Xie Ji, don't you think Tsai Fuking looks a bit like you? Sai Fuking glanced their way, her lips curving into an amused smile. Who would have thought this body, destined for failure, would survive because of her? Xie Yu's eyes lit up. Did I hear right? Someone said Sai Fuking and I look alike? The man waved his hands frantically, his expression a mix of alarm and disbelief. No, no, no. Don't get me wrong, I'm not calling you ugly or anything. It's more about the vibe, you know? Like a certain resemblance in spirit. After that, the group broke into laughter and drifted off to other discussions, leaving the room to prepare for their next performance. Meanwhile, in the Yujia apartment complex, someone had quietly pulled up Sai Fuking's performance. The records, however, painted a picture vastly different from the person she appeared to be. Feng San's expression was grim as he addressed Yu Shihang. Yu Ji, are you sure we shouldn't dig a little deeper? Yu Shihang, holding a teacup, rotated it lazily between his fingers, his voice calm and unhurried. I don't doubt those I trust, and I don't trust those I doubt. Since she's in, I won't look back. But Yu Ji, Feng San pressed, his concern evident, you've got too many assassins and secret agents gunning for you. What if Miss Sai turns out to be one of them? Yu Shiheng raised an eyebrow but didn't move a muscle. Don't worry. She'll act as long as she's paid. I know her well enough. A trace of amusement flickered in his eyes as he glanced at the screen displaying Sai Fuking's background. I'll pick her up tonight. We leave at 4:30 a.m. Star Cloud has been contacted, and we'll head straight to the destination. This trip to Yang City to meet Wui is critical. No one else can know about it. Feng San sighed deeply, his worry etched across his face. Yu Ji? I just wonder when your legs will fully heal. Sai Fuking, meanwhile, had fallen into an unusually deep sleep on their way to Yang City. Her dreams were vivid and haunting. She saw herself dead and buried, with old masters were summoning a geomancer to set up an elaborate formation beside her grave. She heard the geomancer's voice, calm yet resolute, declaring, her fate is nearly spent, but what remains will suffice to ensure the family's rise to power. Old masters were let out a heavy sigh, his voice tinged with regret. What a pity. If she were alive, her fortune would have been even stronger. The geomancer reassured him, his tone unwavering. Rest assured, using the remnants of her luck will still be enough to ensure the family's meteoric rise to glory. Sai Fuking's eyes slowly fluttered open. The dream didn't feel random, it was like a puzzle piece snapping into place, answering questions she hadn't dared to voice. No wonder old masters had left a will bequeathing the family fortune to Fuking. It wasn't generosity, it was a ploy. The plan had been to keep her tethered to the family, draining her luck to fuel their own rise. But they hadn't accounted for this twist of fate, the body meant to host their plans now housed her. The backlash from their failed scheme had taken a heavy toll, ultimately leading to old masters' death. How ironic, she thought, suppressing a smirk. In the end, the Zhou family's efforts had only benefited an outsider like her. Yu Shiheng handed her a box. Put this on. Sai Fuking opened it to find a lifelike human skin mask. Wearing a mask is such a hassle, she mused, her voice light. It's easier to just transform myself. Feng San, driving the car, nearly swerved at her casual comment. Transform yourself? Of course, Sai Fuking replied as she slipped on the mask. Her voice held a faint trace of amusement. I know someone with the ability to morph into anyone they see, iris patterns, fingerprints, everything identical. We used to call her the shapeshifter. Feng San scoffed, clearly unimpressed. Miss Sai, you've been watching too many fantasy movies, haven't you? Sai Fuking continued, undeterred. I know another person, someone with the ability to steal memories. If you ever run into her, you'd better run as fast as you can. Feng San's expression shifted, a flicker of unease crossing his face. Sai Fuking chuckled lightly. Relax, I'm joking. I just watched a movie about genetic mutations last night. She turned toward Yu Shiheng, her tone turning more thoughtful. By the way, I'd recommend drinking some of the Huang family's goji berry tonic. Your body runs cold, your kidney energy feels depleted, and that kind of chill can take a toll on your health. Yu Shiheng explained with a slight shrug, I've been this way since childhood. It's not related to kidney energy. Cai Fuqing perked up, intrigued. Really? Mind if I take a look? Without waiting for permission, she reached out and placed her fingers on his wrist. Her brows furrowed in concentration. Apart from some minor blockages in the leg meridians, everything else seems fine. In fact, you're healthier than most. So why the persistent chill? Yu Shiheng's gaze wandered to her uncharacteristically unruly hair tuft, sticking up defiantly. After a brief hesitation, he couldn't resist reaching out to pat it down. Cai Fuqing's reaction was instant and fiery. Hands off! Don't touch it! It'll make me shorter? Yu Shiheng blinked, then quirked a brow, recovering his composure. Apologies. We've reached Yang City. Go around Ghost Han Tuanyi's statue, and we'll arrive at the Wu residence. The mention of the statue made Cai Fuqing bristle. The moment she spotted it, every strand of hair on her head seemed to stand at attention. That thing. It looks nothing like me. She had once been Ghost Han Tuanyi, renowned for her miraculous healing abilities, capable of snatching lives back from the jaws of death itself. But due to an accident, she had crossed dimensions to become Cai Fuqing. Ghost Han Tuanyi was ranked first on the Global Divine Healer Index, a legendary figure said to have earned her title by saving souls even from the clutches of the underworld. Feng San had heard rumors that praying in front of Ghost Han Tuanyi's statue could speed up recovery from illness, sometimes even bringing miraculous healing. Why didn't I know about this earlier? He muttered with a sigh. If UGE could have sought out Ghost Han Tuanyi back then, things might have been different. Yu Shiheng, however, remained unfazed. Let it be, he said calmly. Cai Fuqing cast a glance at the statue of herself, feeling a mixture of amusement and disdain. No matter how many times she heard the name Ghost Han Tuanyi, it still struck her as over-the-top and juvenile. And that statue? It didn't resemble her in the slightest. So what did the mighty Ghost Han Tuanyi's monument have to do with the real Cai Fuqing, anyway? When they arrived at the Wu residence, they were greeted by the sound of Wu Yi conversing with Yu Yao. Next time, there's no need for you to personally make the trip, young Master Yu, Wu Yi said. Just leave a message online, and we'll have the Great Xia Escort Agency deliver it directly to the capital. Yu Yao declined politely. That won't be necessary. I prefer to oversee the handling of these particular medicinal herbs myself. Also, if you happen to hear from Senior Ghost Han Tuanyi, please notify the Yu family immediately. Feng San's sharp eyes picked up on the clues. Yu Yao was Yu Shiheng's nephew. Luckily, his disguise was flawless. Rumor had it that Miss Cai had a fondness for imperial medicine and had even entered the entertainment industry for him. A peculiar twist of fate indeed. Feng San's expression turned tense as he pointed towards the man. Miss Cai, look! Cai Fuqing glanced up briefly before dismissing him with a wave of her hand. In the future, don't bother asking me to look at anyone less attractive than my boss. My standards are high, and you're just ruining my mood. I'm going to have the boss dock your pay. Feng San muttered, thoroughly amazed by her change. Miss Cai, if this continues, I'm afraid you'll never be able to look at anyone else again. Wu Yi glanced in their direction. Are you the Scotsman who made the appointment last month? You're here for your leg, correct? Let me be clear, whether or not it can be healed, the deposit is non-refundable. That's the family policy. Yu Shiheng raised his eyes slightly. You're late. Hearing this, the man's expression turned impatient. 20 minutes. Can't you wait that long? Are you in such a rush to reincarnate? If you can't handle waiting, you're free to return to your own country. The Great Xia Empire doesn't welcome you. Yu Shiheng's long, narrow phoenix eyes gleamed coldly, his gaze sharp as a blade. The intensity of his presence washed over the room like a tidal wave, overwhelming all else and commanding submission. The sheer authority he exuded was enough to make anyone kneel on the spot. His aura was a force to be reckoned with, reaching a level few could endure. And yet, Miss Yi remained entirely unaffected. Feng San glanced over, his gaze tinged with a hint of admiration. As expected of Yu Ji, she's truly powerful. Wu Yi's displeasure was evident as he muttered under his breath. Mr. Scotsman, you're abroad now. There's no need to act so pitiful. Let me remind you, if you walk out of the Wu family's door today, no one in the entire Great Xia Empire will be able to heal your legs. You'd better think this through. Sai Fuking strolled over casually, a smirk tugging at her lips. So without the Wu family, no one can treat him? How impressive. But tell me, then, what are Ghost Han Tuanyi supposed to be? Wu Yi stood up abruptly, his expression twisting into one of mockery. Miss, coming from abroad, you probably wouldn't know. The so-called Ghost Han Tuanyi belonged to a faction that served the supreme sovereign of the Great Xia dynasty. Whether she actually existed is still debatable, so don't go believing everything you read in history books. Feng San leaned closer, whispering cautiously, Miss Sai, perhaps you should stop reading so many unofficial accounts. Not everything written in them is true. At this, Yu Shiheng lifted his lashes slightly, casting Feng San a glance so faint yet piercing that it sent chills down his spine. He stiffened, wondering if he'd misspoken somehow. Wu Yi, however, was done playing nice. His voice turned icy, his words cutting like a blade. Mr. Scotsman, as I said before, the deposit is non-refundable. Sai Fuking arched a brow, her demeanor unbothered. Consider it your coffin money. It should last you for a while, right? Her calm defiance was like a spark to dry timber. Infuriated, Wu Yi snapped, You've gone mad. I'll blacklist your entire family. I'll make sure no one in the 49 cities dares to treat him. Sai Fuking didn't flinch, her smirk widening as if daring him to try. Before they could say more, Sai Fuking was already pushing Yu Shiheng away, with Feng San trailing close behind. From the corner of her mouth, Sai Fuking joked, Boss, you really believe me when I say I love you and not your money? Outside Wu Yi's residence, Feng San couldn't hold back anymore. Yu Ji, if you're really not going to treat your legs, what are you going to do about them? Yu Shiheng's tone was steady and calm, his voice effortlessly captivating. Didn't Miss Sai promise to heal me? Sai Fuking arched a brow, teasing. Boss, do you actually trust me? His gaze was level and unruffled. I'm rich. Sai Fuking paused, thinking it over. The boss's subtext was clear, her love of money meant she wouldn't deceive him. Feng San nearly stumbled. This was absurd. First Sai Fuking stirred up chaos, and now his Yu Ji was going along with it. Raising her hand, Sai Fuking solemnly swore, Boss, I mean it, I love you, not your money. Yu Shiheng fixed her with a quiet stare, his voice laced with skepticism. You really think I'll believe that? The awkward tension was palpable. Sai Fuking quickly changed her tune, a sly grin on her face. Fine, I admit it, I love money. But boss, my feelings for you are real. Honestly, if there's anyone in this world who could rival the dragon of men, the emperor himself, it's you. Yu Shiheng's dark eyes flickered, intense and fathomless as he silently watched her. After a few beats, he let out a quiet cough. Let's head back. Feng San felt utterly superfluous. Not only had Sai Fuking flattered her boss, but she'd also praised her idol in the same breath. That level of skill? Feng San figured it might even earn her a raise. Sai Fuking chuckled from behind. San, help me buy some herbs later, and I'll trade you intel on Ghost Han Tuanyi. Feng San was puzzled. San? What kind of weird nickname is that? 2 days later, the Zhou patriarch was laid to rest. On that day, Zhou Qingya discreetly whispered to Zhou Xinyu, second sister, I heard that the Yu's third young master is searching for Ghost Han Tuanyi to treat Miss Ji. They say Ghost Han Tuanyi was last seen in Zhongzhou, Zhou Qingya firmly affirmed. Next month, we'll check out Zhongzhou ourselves, unlike some people who don't even know who Ghost Han Tuanyi is. Zhou Xinyu scoffed triumphantly. Thinking they can enter the capital's inner circle? They should look in the mirror first. Sai Fuking tilted her head slightly, arms crossed, a mischievous and defiant grin spreading across her face. Ghost Han Chani? What kind of juvenile name is that? Zui Xinyu's tone turned icy. Mind your own business. Do you even know who she is? Zui Qingya laughed maliciously. Sai Fuking, are you worried that Ghost Han Chuani will cure Miss Ji and that's why you're insulting her? Aren't you afraid the Yu's third young master will despise you? Sai Fuking raised a brow, unfazed. What's it to you? If she insults herself, who else needs to interfere? Zui Qingya eagerly dashed to Yu Yao's side, brimming with excitement. Third young master Yu, Sai Fuking doesn't even know who Ghost Han Chani is and yet speaks so recklessly. Isn't that just ignorant? Yu Yao's eyes darkened as he gazed at Sai Fuking. Ignorance is one thing, but such tactless behavior? That's sheer stupidity. Sai Fuking, calm yet defiant, quipped, "What, are you looking for a fight?" Before the tension could escalate, Su Tuanfeng frowned, clearly displeased. Gentlemen, is this the time? Two men stepped forward, their tone steady. We are on Myoji, trained under Master Fujiyama Keiya, a close friend of your late father. My master was deeply grieved by Mr. Zhu's passing. Unfortunately, he couldn't attend the funeral himself and sent us in his stead. They handed over a card. Zhu Tuanfeng's expression shifted, stunned. Master Fujiyama Keiya? The Fujiyama family, renowned onmyoji of the East. Even the most prominent families in the capital strive to build connections with them. How did old Master Zhu get involved with such a prestigious lineage? Meanwhile, Sai Fuking's mind drifted to a haunting memory, a dream she could never shake. It wasn't just one person draining her fortune, the Zhu patriarch alone could never summon an onmyoji capable of altering fate. These two youths were undoubtedly linked to the one who stole her destiny. She clenched her fists, her voice low yet sharp. It's been far too long since I last visited the East. My hands are itching for action. The funeral ended swiftly. Zui Qingya beamed with satisfaction. Oh dear, Sai Fuking, looks like you don't have a ride. Seems like you'll have to walk back. Well, bye now. Take your time walking home. Trash is trash. Suddenly, the roar of an engine pierced the air, sharp wind scattering fallen leaves in its wake. A blue car reversed, leaving only its tail lights visible. Sai Fuking stood dumbfounded. What the? Driving in reverse? Are they crazy? The car screeched to a halt right in front of Sai Fuking. Yu Shiheng's voice drifted out, calm and effortless like a breeze basking in sunlight. Get in.